Alright, y'all, so I got my wireless earbud in right here. I finally figured out how to be able to use it as a mic for making videos and everything. There's an app I downloaded to turn it on and all that fun stuff. But this is a Skull Candy Dime. I like it because it's really small. Fits my ear pretty good and all that. And it was only like 20 bucks. So anyway. Alright. So this here, as y'all probably seen on the channel, is our new tractor, our new toy, our new piece of equipment, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, this is a 2021 John Deere 3043D. We did buy brand new. I've got 24 and something, I think, or it may be a little more than that. Let's see. Yeah, 24.4 hours, so almost 25 hours. We're going to cheat a little bit and call it a 25-hour review. All right, so here we go. By the book in the manual, after the first initial 10 hours, sometime after that, check the wheel torque and all that, which I'm probably not going to do that in this video. And they've got, you know, torque wrench specs and everything like that, but I'm just going to take a pull bar and make sure that it's to the German torque, Gudentite, as we call it. Anyway, so on that list, it calls for normal maintenance. Every 10 hours, they say to check the oil and check the radiator fluid and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember if they say that check the air filter that soon or not, but just basic stuff. I did go ahead and grease it, which there was still plenty of grease in there, but I just figured here I go ahead and hit it a couple licks. So anyway, you've got all this fun stuff here to go around, because that is one trouble with this, is it doesn't have a quick detach load or anything. But if you can see, I don't know if it's going to focus, but anyway, the oil is about right there. Full line is right there, so it's well within range. It's very clear. It only has a very little bit of a tint when you wipe it off there, so we're good to go on that. Now let's see if I can put this back in here. There we go. So yeah, first time checking the oil, by the way. You've got a couple of different fuel filters on here. You've got this one down here, and you can see it's a water separator, so you can see in there, and it looks good in pink, and everything looks good on there. And it's got like 2 more filters for when the time comes to change. But I couldn't find in the manual where they require a break-in oil change. Most everything that I'm familiar with does. It's not calling for an oil change until you get to like 400 hours, but I'm probably going to do somewhere between 50 and 100 hours, 50, 75 hours. I want to go ahead and change the oil, start it on a good note. And because if you're not familiar with engines and equipment, see, when you got a brand new engine and everything is brand new, it's never been run, your first oil change is very important, because as everything starts moving and it starts getting used to its normal functions, it's going to produce metal and shavings and everything wearing together and fitting the way it's going to run in the first, I'd say, 50, 75 hours. I don't really want to run it any further than that without doing a break-in oil change, and then I don't know if I'll put enough hours on it to go by an hour thing per year, I'll probably just change it once a year and call it good. So we've got that, and the transmission and hydraulic filter type things, it's requiring that later on down the road, like 1,200 hours, I think is what it said. But I'll probably change them sooner than that, but I'll get probably 400 or 500 hours on that or something. I might change it once every couple of years or something. That's not as a big deal as the engine here. So as you can see from your perspective, there we go. This is cold full. Hot full here is actually a tad bit over the cold full, so we're going to call that good. I am thinking that I'm going to have to buy special antifreeze, coolant, whatever you want to call it, because the universal kind is green. This one's like a yellow looking kind, so it's probably going to be special. Yeah, and the radiator is completely full, so we're good there. I like to check the radiator and the reservoir, because sometimes, for whatever reason, they don't work quite right, and this will either be full or empty, and the radiator will be full and empty. So I like to check it and make sure that both of them are full like they're supposed to be. So radiator still clean. I don't see a screen in here like I seen on some of the other tractors that I watched a lot of tractor videos before we ended up buying one, and most of them was 1025Rs and 238 and stuff like that, because for some reason there's just not a lot of videos on these particular tractors. But they had a screen in front that they would take off and clean when they did a lot of bush hogging and a lot of grass type stuff. It would get stopped up, but we don't have that here, so we just have the screen down here in the front and on the sides to keep clean. But as y'all know, I did hay baling with this, square baling and all, so it was in a lot of dust and grass particle type things, and it didn't get stopped up or heat or anything like that, so we're good to go on that. And let's see, can I pull my filter out without taking the side panel? Top and bottom here, and I don't think I can. Luckily, we've got these quick twist tabs here. There we go. And there's our oil fill port down there. Make sure when you're checking your air filter and things too, that they've got this little thing on there. Make sure you squeeze that up, because it'll get grass and pine needles and trash and stuff up in there too. But as we can see, air filter is still like brand new. It's still shiny white. Don't see any problem with that at all. And it does have an inner filter here too. So we've got a 2-filter system. And I'm not quite sure why they designed it exactly like that. They could have angled the air box just a little bit, or either move this thing, because it's right dead in the way, trying to get this thing back in there. So that seemed to work easiest, pulling the inner and outer filter and putting it back as one piece. And for some reason, I can't get these little tabs to hook back. There we go, we got one. Yes. And that, I guess to unhook that, be able to get some more hand room in here maybe. Alright, so I finally got both of them snapped. And they definitely could have made that more user friendly. It's a very, very small lip on the end of here that you have to clip to. They could have made that lip a little bit bigger and made it snap a whole lot easier. But anyway, so is life. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so anyway, so far I like the tractor. There's a couple things that I don't like about it because nothing's going to be perfect. Mainly that the PTO is not what I call a live PTO. When you push the clutch in, the PTO shuts off. So if you're running something like a baler or something and you need to just stop for a minute and let it catch up, it doesn't work good for that. But this is a transmission model, so you got forward and reverse shifter and gears and all that like an older style. A hydrostatic wouldn't have that trouble because you could just let off the pedal and let it catch up and then ease on the pedal and go on about your business. So maybe that's why they have it designed that way, because it's kind of designed for hydrostatic, because that's what most everything is now in the smaller tractor world. I'm not a fan of hydrostatic myself. I've never had a tractor hydrostatic, but the tree cutters and things we run in the woods are hydrostatic, and they give a ton of problems. And they are John Deere's too, but that's beside the point. But the hydrostatics have a lot of different sensors and hydraulic components that can give you trouble versus a regular transmission type. So I wanted transmission type, that's what I got, but that is the issue I face with it. We're planning on running the hammer mill grinder with it. Doing that, you just hook the PTO shaft up and turn the PTO on, and then you get out and hand feed the corn in, stuff like that. The old Massey Ferguson tractor, no problem. This has a safety switch. So it has to be in neutral and the range in neutral to start it or to get off of it. It has a seat sensor that if you get up off of the seat while you have either one of those in gear, then it'll shut off. Also learned, if you put the PTO in gear, even if you have everything else in neutral, if you get up off the seat, it cuts off. So that's a safety feature, but it kind of sucks for what I was planning on using the tractor for. But I bypassed the switch here. I seen a lot of videos and stuff like that of people doing it, just taking unhooking the switch and taking a piece of wire with two male connectors ends on it and just plugging that up that way and bypassing it and being done with it. So that's what I did. So now I can put it in PTO and I can get off and the tractor doesn't cut off. So that's good for me on that. So far we've used this thing moving hay bales, round bales, stuff like that. Did a little plowing with it and disking just mainly to try it. I haven't bush hogged yet, but we did run the square baler with it, and I moved different stuff around with the bucket and normal type stuff like that. So far, like I said, a little under 25 hours. It's worked out pretty good. I think it's going to be a good thing for us. If I could just change that PTO thing, then I would be happy, but nobody's perfect. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this. It's still a new thing for us, but if you're looking at getting one of these or have any questions about them, you're welcome to put in the comments or whatever, and I'll get back with you and see if I can help you any kind of way. But so far, it's been a good little tractor. I think it's going to hold up pretty good for us. And a lot of the smaller tractors a lot of the smaller tractors, compact, subcompact, and all of that, just are used as an overgrown lawnmower, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't buy one for that purpose, but what we bought this thing for was a tractor, doing tractor stuff with it. A lot of people, a lot of videos I've seen, they have these, bigger machines like a 2038R and stuff like that, and basically all they do with it, all they show with it, all they talk about is mowing, the belly mower and everything, like a lawnmower. But I don't know. I can see some uses for it, but at the same time, we bought it for a working tractor. Like I said, pulling the square baler and moving round bales and doing those different things with it. We didn't buy it for a lawnmower, so maybe I can help some of y'all with these videos of doing different things with the tractor versus how most of them you see on YouTube is used for. So we do, we're not a huge farm here. We're a small farm, but we do real farming stuff. We're making hay. It may not be all with this tractor and stuff, but we're making hay. We're planting crops, gardening stuff. We plan on raising corn next year to grind to make our own feed. We've got a few cows, we've got chickens, we got some hogs, some goats, and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, y'all know me. I'm not hating on anybody or putting anybody down that doesn't do all these things. But hopefully we can give y'all some insight into some more heavy duty farm type stuff using more equipment and stuff, where we're kind of a mid-size. A lot of the smaller farms and homesteads may not even have a tractor or equipment or stuff like that, and most of them buy hay and all those things. And then of course you've got the bigger farm channels that are running 150 horsepower tractors and 20 row planters and stuff like that. So we're kind of in between all that. So maybe we can give you a different perspective, maybe a unique perspective you could call it. But anyway, I just want to say all that. Appreciate everybody watching, and like I said, if you got any questions or comments, you can let me know all that. And hopefully the audio sounds pretty good using this wireless mic. I use the wired mic sometimes making these videos, but they kind of get in my way and tangled up and all that. And this is a lot easier to work around with. But anyway, After all that, stay prayed up, prepped up, and strapped up. See you.